Once upon a time, a man named Jonny lived in the village of Ngoma. Jonny was known far and wide for his very big pot belly and carefree nature. While his belly was the subject of many jokes and laughter, his irresponsibility was no laughing matter. The villagers said mockingly, "Everybody, come and see Jonny and his very big pot belly. He looks like a big clay pot with water inside." They all mocked, laughed, pointing at Jonny, who was standing, holding his favorite palm wine bottle in front of a mango tree. His family, his hard-working wife, Kate, and their children, often bore the impact of his recklessness. Jonny had once been a promising young man with dreams and aspirations, who used to be a famous carpenter and a farmer. But over the years, he became very lazy and indifferent. He did not care about himself and family anymore. Instead of working to provide for his family, he spent his days relaxing under the big mango tree in the village square, drinking palm wine with his friends and telling exaggerated stories about his supposed glorious past. He became the talk of the village. The villagers said, "Jonny is now very lazy. See how he looks. Very dirty. He is now a drunkard. He used to be very hardworking. This life is strange indeed," they all said sadly. Mama Kate was the backbone of the family. She worked tirelessly on the farm with her children and at the local market, selling fried food to make ends meet. Her once radiant smile had faded, replaced by lines of worry and extreme tiredness. The children were sad and worried. Despite their struggles, Mama Kate never lost hope. She often prayed for Jonny to change, and to become the man she once knew and loved. Some of the villagers, too, wished that he would find his way back to being a responsible husband and father. One day something unexpected happened. As Jonny relaxed under his favorite mango tree, he overheard a conversation among 3 men from a nearby village. They were talking about a big construction project that was about to start in the area. The project promised to bring many jobs and opportunities for the villagers. The words jobs and opportunities struck a chord with Jonny. He then realized that if he didn't take action, he might lose his family and end up completely alone. The thought of losing Mama Kate and his children filled him with dread. For the first time in years, he felt a burning desire to change, to be a better man for his family. The next morning, Jonny did something he hadn't done in a long time. He woke up early, even before the rooster crowed. Mama Kate, surprised to see her husband up so early, watched as he took his bath, dressed up, and announced that he was going to the farm to work. "I want to help," he said simply. Mama Kate was surprised. Her eyes filled with tears. Sitting on the bed, she began to cry. His transformation wasn't easy. Years of laziness had made him weak, and he struggled with the physical demands of labor on the farm. The following morning, Jonny did the same thing again, something he hadn't done in a long time. He woke up early, even before the rooster crowed. Mama Kate, surprised again to see her husband up so early, watched as he took his bath, dressed in clean clothes, and announced that he was going to look for a job. "I want to help," he said simply again. Mama Kate was surprised. Her eyes filled with tears. She had prayed for this moment for so long. With renewed hope, she watched as Jonny left the house and walked towards the village square. He visited the site of the new construction project and asked for a job. The foreman, a severe but fair man named Mr. Paul, looked at him doubting. "Why should I employ you? Why should I give you the job? Mr. Paul asked. "I've heard about you, Jonny. They say you're lazy and unreliable." Jonny felt a pang of shame but stood his ground. He replied, "I know I've been irresponsible, but I want to change. Give me a chance, and I'll prove myself." Mr. Paul studied him for a moment before nodding. "All right, I'll give you 1 week. If you prove yourself, the job is yours." Jonny worked harder than he had ever worked before. The first few days were tiring. His muscles ached and his hands were blistered, but he pushed through. He woke up early and stayed late, determined to prove himself to Mr. Paul and, more importantly, to his family. As the days passed, the villagers noticed the change in Jonny. The man who had once spent his days relaxing and drinking was now a dedicated worker. Even his friends, who once mocked, laughed and drank with him under the mango tree, were amazed by his transformation. His friends said surprisingly, "Jonny has changed." At the end of the week, Mr. Paul called Jonny into his office. "I've been watching you," he said. "You've worked hard and proved yourself. The job is yours." Jonny was so happy. He thanked Mr. Paul and rushed home to share the good news with his family. Mama Kate and children greeted him with hugs and laughter. It was the first time in years that their home was filled with such joy. With his new job, Jonny was able to provide for his family, once again filled with joy in their home. The children went back to school joyfully. Jonny continued to work hard, saving money and planning for the future. One day, while working at the construction site, Jonny found himself in a conversation with a young man named Bright. Bright was a skilled carpenter but struggled to find consistent work. Jonny saw an opportunity and proposed a partnership. Together, they started a small furniture-making business. The business flourished, bringing prosperity to his family and providing jobs for other villagers. His transformation inspired many in the village. He became a role model, showing that it was never too late to change and take responsibility. There was a turnaround. He built a beautiful house for his family. Years passed. Jonny became a respected and successful man. His story of change spread far and wide, a testament to the power of hard work and determination. He often shared his story with young men in the village, encouraging them to prioritize their families and work hard. One evening, as Jonny sat with his family under the same mango tree where he once lazed away his days, he felt a deep sense of gratitude. He looked at Mama Kate, who was once again radiant with happiness, and their children all successful. "I am grateful for that moment of realization," Jonny said softly. "It opened my eyes to the precious gift of family and the importance of responsibility." Mama Kate smiled and replied, "We always believed in you, Jonny. You just needed to believe in yourself." The villagers celebrated his transformation with a party inside the community hall. At the party, Jonny stood before the villagers, his heart filled with pride and gratitude. "My friends," he began, "I stand before you today not as a perfect man, but as a man who decided to change. Change is not easy," he said, "but it is possible. You have to take that first step, no matter how difficult it may seem. I was once irresponsible and careless," he said, "but I learned the hard way that family is the most precious gift we have. We must cherish and protect it with all our might." The crowd listened intently as Jonny shared his story, from his days of relaxing under the mango tree to his transformation into a hard-working and responsible father and husband. His words resonated deeply with everyone present, inspiring many to reflect on their own lives and make positive changes. Chief Obi moved his speech, shook hands with Jonny and thanked him for his contributions to the village, and he said, "Jonny, your story is a beacon of hope and inspiration for us all. You have shown that with determination and hard work, we can overcome any obstacle and become better versions of ourselves." They all clapped, and Jonny felt a sense of fulfillment he had never known before. He had not only transformed his own life but had also become a source of inspiration for others. As the party continued, his family gathered around him, their faces happy with pride. One of his sons, now a young man, spoke up. "Father, we are so proud of you. Your hard work and dedication have changed our lives for the better. You've shown us the true meaning of love and responsibility." Tears filled his eyes and he said, "I could not have done it without your support and belief in me. Together, we have overcome our struggles and become stronger as a family." The celebration went on with music, dancing, and laughter filling the air. Years passed, his legacy continued to grow. He was very willing to help out in the village with his family. His children grew up to be responsible and successful individuals, each carrying forward the lessons they had learned from their father. Jonny and Mama Kate watched with pride as their children made positive impacts around them. Their home was always filled with laughter, love, and the stories of how they had overcome their struggles together. One day, as Jonny sat under the mango tree, now a symbol of his transformation, he reflected on his journey. He had gone from being an irresponsible man to a respected leader, a loving husband, and a devoted father. His life had also inspired countless others to take responsibility and strive for a better future. As the sun set over the village of Ngoma, Jonny smiled satisfied. And so, the pot-bellied father who had once been the subject of mockery and disappointment became a legend. Jonny knew he had fulfilled his destiny, a powerful reminder that it is never too late to change, to take responsibility, and to become the hero of your own story. Jonny, the very big pot-bellied father, danced with all the villagers and his family, joyfully with pride. Please subscribe now to encourage more people to move on in life. Thank you. Please don't forget to subscribe.